Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. This is Tuesday, October 15, 2019, 6:30 p.m. And we have Colton Simpson from the Grant County Tax Administrator to do our invocation. If everyone could stand, continue standing for a pledge.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Lord, we just ask for your guidance upon these officials, Lord, and may you continue to bless our county. And Lord, we just pray that all goes well in the various projects that we are currently undertaking, Lord. We just thank you for all things, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Pat, if I can have you call roll.
Magistrate Coburn.
Here.
Magistrate Humphrey.
Here.
And Judge Deals.
Here. Jacqueline Riley, Magistrate, 1st District, won't be with us tonight. She's out of town. So we move on down to approval of the minutes. Present them for a motion to approve the minutes dated October 1st, 2019, and the minutes of the special meeting dated October 4th, 2019.
Having reviewed the minutes prior to the meeting, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes dated October 1, 2019, and the minutes of the special meeting dated October 4, 2019.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to fiscal matters. Present for review a motion to approve the claims drawn on the general fund, the road fund, the jail fund, dated October 15th, along with the transfers as presented.
Just a question on the transfer. Have we still got the inmate check to come in for September yet?
No, it's supposed to be in any day.
Peggy's hoping that maybe it'll be here tomorrow.
So if we have that, we won't have to do the transfer?
That's correct.
Possible, yes, ma'am.
But as usual, she's requesting the transfer just in case it may be running behind for payroll.
And also, just for note for the audience, we were able to make the checks for the roads that we previously, we approved that. They're already back and will be, they're being sent to Frankfurt for reimbursement. So those was quite a bit of money spent out of the road funds, so it'll be going back into that. Having reviewed all the claims, I make a motion that we approve the general fund, road fund, jail fund claims as presented, along with all the transfers.
I'll second that motion.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to the item for ordinances. Present for a first reading of ordinance number 12-2019-0235. It's an ordinance enacting the adoption, a supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the County of Grant, Kentucky, along with the notice to run in the local paper showing a second reading will be held on Monday, November 4th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as possible. And this ordinance is the to be put into the Code of Ordinance books, the updated ordinances that's already been passed. Okay, moving down to ordinances number 2. Present for a second reading ordinance number 11-2019-0234, an ordinance continuing fee pooling and the purchase order system for the office of the Grant County Sheriff, along with the notice to be published in the local newspaper showing adoption as if approved. I need a motion for.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 11-2019-0234, this being the second reading, for continuing the fee pooling and a purchase order system for the office of the Grant County Sheriff, along with the notice to be published in the local newspaper showing adoption if approved.
I'll second that motion.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Both of these.
Okay, moving down to appointments. Present for a motion to appoint Christy Henry to serve as a member of the Grant County Joint Local Industrial Development Authority, effective October 15, 2019, expires on December 31st, 2022. And this was a request sent in from Jamie Baker on appointments.
I'll make a motion to appoint Christy Henry to serve as a member of the Grant County Joint Local Industrial Development Authority effective October 15th, 2019, and to expire on December 31st, 2022.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to new business, present the bids for resurfacing Bullock Pen that were opened under the Budget Committee at 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 15, 2019. We're going to pass that and rebid it just for technical error. I just need a motion to rebid this. And we rebid it, it come out in the newspaper on October 24th, and we'll open the bids on November 4th, 2019 at 5:30 at our committee meeting.
I'll make a motion that we rebid due to technical error for the resurfacing of Bullock Pen Road that were opened by the Budget Committee at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 15th, and for it to be advertised in the local paper on October 24th, and the bids opened on November 4th of 2019.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Also under new business, I have a item that we've added to the agenda this afternoon. This is present for a motion to grant permission for myself, Judge Executive Chuck Dills, to sign a contract for both male and female substance abuse program at the Grant County Detention Center. We were checking, and the reason that sort of on the 11th hour we're getting this information is that contracts come in, they're still in the process of trying to hire a director. The jailer, Mike Webster, wasn't for sure if we went ahead and signed the contract, if that started the clock with the SAP program or would cause any interference. He had spoke with the Department of Corrections, and they said go ahead and sign off on the contract for the male and female SAP program, and then once they get a director hired, then the program will proceed on. So I need a motion for me to sign the contract for the SAP program.
I make a motion to grant permission for Judge Executive Chuck Dills to sign contract for both male and female SAP for the substance abuse programs at the Grant County Detention Center.
I'll second that motion.
I have a second. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving down to departmental reports, present for review the Grant County Coroner's Report for the period of July 1, 2019 through September 30th, 2019. This for information purposes, no actions required. Has everybody had a chance to look at that?
That's just quarterly, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, that's quarterly report.
Yeah.
That's the special meeting.
Does anyone have any questions on the report?
No.
Okay. Moving on down to Judge Executive's report, I just want to report on a few things. If you noticed, they're putting in the heating and air in the building. Pardon the dust. It's been sort of a mess and it's been loud, but they're making some progress. Also, the plumber's been reworking the plumbing. We've got the electricians that are already starting to lay the conduit, coming in with the three-phase, working with the city of Williamstown to update the electric in the building to accommodate the new heating and air units. Also, at the Grant County Park, when I left earlier down there, they'd already poured 6 or 7 of the pads for the disc golf. I think they were planning to get 9 to 11 of them poured today. So they're moving along with it. Also getting the poles set in the ground for the baskets. So that's moving on. Also had the plumber down working yesterday and the day before on the kitchen area and that other bathroom area. We dug it up. The Jason Mullins with the county had dug up with the mini excavator, dug up the water line. They found the break in it that's been there for several years. Got the break fixed. They backfilled it, so we're ready to open the bathrooms. The only thing is, I've told them to hold off because we're going into winter. But come spring, we'll be able to utilize those other restrooms and also the kitchen area for possible concession stands for the tournaments for disc golf.
Great.
So,
There was one other request. Somebody had contacted me through social media. It does make sense if it's possible, especially since we got water at that location, maybe putting some type of drinking fountain on the outside of that building where
Okay.
people can get some water.
yeah.
And
And some of the other things we're looking at, there's still several lights that are out, trying to get the lighting up, which will help with our security camera system. And then also, they've started clearing out down into the wooded area with the bush hog, where they're putting in the disc golf. So a lot of that's been cleared out. So we've added to the footprint of the park by clearing out a lot of the brush.
I bet, yeah, have they, did you say they had already done some of that?
Yeah, they've already started
I bet
getting
that
deep
looks-
into the woods.
Because
So
that was going to clear out, when we was up there, it was going to clear out quite a bit and make it look a whole lot more attractive.
yeah.
I think the park looks better than it has for many years. It's just, and we're hearing a lot of compliments on that. And the thing about it is, it hasn't really cost.
No,
No.
the disc golf was paid for by tourism, helped with that. So, and our own staff are doing the additional mowing down into the woods. So, moving on, Roger, do you have anything to add additional?
No, just what I was talking about there on the park and Bullock Pin Drive. I talked to Steve earlier, and they're going to be doing some culvert work, some ditching work down there Thursday,
Okay.
and some patch work and getting ready. And I think all the people down there are very, very excited. I've talked to people who's lived there for many years, and they said they can't remember when it was ever
Yeah.
any real maintenance ever done on that road. So they're very pleased that we're going to do it.
Sean?
Yesterday, Chuck and I attended a District 6 meeting at the Grant County Library. We was able to use that new facility there. There were several county judges present with us, and along with Greg Brockman, the City of Dry Ridge mayor. They discussed a little bit or give us an update on the road things that's going on with the state. The twin bridges are in the process of being designed now. They are being replaced, not rehabbed, and they look to starting them, and from what I gather, they was going to try to complete them in 2020. And
Yes, that's correct.
you know, so there's probably going to be a lot of rerouting done there. They didn't give us any indication at that time what that was going to be, so I'm sure, you know, we're going to have some information on that pretty soon. They're supposed to let it out to contractors in November. Also, next week, we're going to be attending the magistrates are a CAECO meeting from Wednesday to Friday for some educational purposes. That's usually a really good meeting during the year, and especially going into the new session of Frankfurt coming up in early spring. They usually begin to tell us or give us an idea of what the bills are that's going to be produced for legislature up there. And also next Saturday, October the 26th, the Parks and Recreation are providing the Halloween in the park, and there'll be a movie, so, you know, encourage children to go out, and they're going to try to have some vendors and that type of thing. A lot of times it's not well attended, so if you have people that, you know, see children and stuff, encourage them to attend.
I just want to add real quick before I see if the sheriff has anything. And I've talked to the magistrate on some of the projects going on. I want to commend Steve Tatum and his crew they actually cut the roadway out, got it dug out, so they've saved us from paying contractors to do that work. So that, and along with what was going on at the Grant County Park with our maintenance guys of digging the water lines out, so all I had to do is pay the plumber to hook the water line up. So trying to save as much, and thanks, Steve. I know that we've got things that we need to be getting done on ditches and roads, but also that's some great savings to the county on doing some of these projects. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some great talent within this county
Well,
with our
talent and
county
equipment,
workers
too.
Yeah.
and
So-
the equipment that we get, and all they need is support. And you could see what they do.
Yeah, I just can't see paying outside contractors to do work that
No, that
we've
we're
got the
capable
ability
of
to
doing.
do. And
Absolutely.
he does. He has an excellent bunch of team over there.
And does
so.
a great job at it, too. They do a really good job.
Mike Webster, our jailer, he's not here today. He gave me the printout. County prisoners were down. I think it was like 30-some county prisoners. Don't hold me to it. And David, I'll make you a copy of that. It's on my desk. These Madison County prisoners are 15, and state prisoners are at 188. They've taken some, but they're getting ready to deliver a bunch more. So it's been an open door, revolving door with these state prisoners, and hopefully the SAP program is going to bring us in 60 state prisoners with additional pay. So
And they'll be there for,
yeah, that'd be
months.
on
It's not
top
like
of
a
our
revolving
numbers.
door with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll constantly be keeping 60. That actually won't fluctuate very much. Brian, do you have anything to add?
Taxes are flowing in, seeing pretty steady pace. A couple things we changed up this year. You can pay at any Heritage Bank location, and Heritage Bank is actually helping process for us. We're normally
Do you want to come, if you don't mind, you want to come up here, and that way it'll be picked up on the speaker.
But as I was saying, normally we'd have to bring in a couple of part-timers to help process the mail and everything. Heritage Bank came to me and gave me a proposal for about $2,500 a year they'd process it. That's been going really great. Saved a lot of time and took a lot of stress off us in the office. Online payments, if y'all hear anybody in the community, right now we are not accepting online payments. The company that we went with is telling us that we should start doing it in the next week or two. So hope to get that up and going. The only other thing I have, and Steve, you may be able to help me with this one, the semis on Arnold's Creek, do we have any signs? Is there signs there? Okay. I had that question asked of me today. There was one that went down there today. So
The last time we had that problem, it was a foreigner
yeah.
could not speak English,
Yeah.
so they can't read the sign.
Well, that's kind of what I figured. I knew there used to be, but I didn't know if maybe it got taken out or something. That was brought to my attention.
Google Maps is sending them right down
Google
through there.
Maps took them right down on
Wow.
the street. And
And they can choose any language they want on
Oh,
Google
yeah.
Maps, so.
Yeah. And the only other thing I have is the hiring process. The interview board interviewed 6 candidates last week. We're going to go ahead and run all 6 through the PHQ, which is like a psychological test, and then pick the candidates from there unless you all tell me to hire all 6.
I'd give anything
Can I
more
get a
if we
motion?
could. I wish we could. I tell
Yeah.
you what, we need 6
And
plus.
that's another thing I've been looking at too, just to kind of bring you off to speed. I know we've been busier than we've ever been, so
I'll vouch for that.
yeah. So today, I took the time to kind of see where we're at. We're over almost 550 cases for the year right now. Normally we do about 500 a year. So into September, we're already where we're at normally in a full year just for cases. That don't include call volume. So my next steps, I'm going to get with dispatch and see where we're at call volume.
What is, when you say 550 cases, is that from
So that-
January to December or July
Right.
to September?
Well, we do it by the year.
Okay.
Calendar
on
year.
that
A
type of
calendar year,
stuff,
okay, I just
calendar
wondered.
year. So we're over 500 to the end of September.
What kind, I don't know if you're allowed to give
It's-
this information, what kind of cases are you seeing?
So I looked at that too.
Oh, did you?
Theft is by far the largest, and the county attorney probably vouch. We do a whole lot of theft cases. Then comes burglary and drugs, probably hit right there together.
And a lot of them are contributed by drugs on the
Right.
theft
The
cases.
chain reaction.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's a chain reaction. So it's calls in general, though, because I even looked at collisions. I was curious about that. And I think most of it is the state police is not there to help us like they were in years past, just because their numbers are down too.
And so is Dry Ridge Police, they're down to, their
Dry
numbers are
Ridge
down.
Police, yep, they're down to 2 people. So we're just busier than we've ever been and trying to shift things around to get it all covered.
Does Post have any intentions of bringing more into Post, or?
He told me, so, sex abuses, for example, that's sort of a detective's job.
Mhm.
A sex abuse takes a road unit away from the road. They have to go to interviews, which aren't in Grant County. They're all in northern Kentucky where these victims are interviewed. They got to go interview these suspects, which 9 times out of 10 don't live in Grant County. It's an uncle, a cousin, whatever. But anyway, what sparked us knowing their manpower issues were worse than we thought was the captain called me and he said, we can't do it no more. Your guys are going to have to work sex abuses. Where before, they were worked by troopers or detectives. We're not even sure. So he told me he can't do it. He's got 3 troopers assigned to Grant County, and he's lucky if they're in Grant County and not taking calls in other parts of the Post area. If there's an escape from Greenup Street, which is the halfway house, well, state police got to go work it. So guess who's going to the Grant squad?
That's under a state law that,
Yes.
that's,
yeah.
in case anybody's wondering, anytime anybody escapes from a jail or
Kentucky
institution, the
State
Kentucky State Police have to be the ones notified and take the call.
Yeah, and it's not anything. I mean, we're all working great together. I couldn't ask for probably a better group of supervisors at Post to work with, but they just don't have it.
They just don't have it.
And there's no.
And they're short statewide, it's
Yeah,
not
they-
just
it's
Right.
statewide.
Post.
He's asking for 6 out of this class, but he knows that's asking for way too much.
I believe at one of the conferences we was at that the manpower level with state police was approved at over 1,000.
Yeah.
And at that time at the conference, which was just a couple months back, they only had a manpower status of between 750 and 850.
That's correct.
And begging, just like every agency.
Yeah, and we're the same way. I mean, I don't know if it was brought to y'all's attention, but 18 people, out of 18 applications that we had that were suitable to move forward for testing, we had 9 show up.
Yeah.
18 scheduled and said, we're going to come take your test. 9 showed up, 6 passed. So that puts it into perspective. And then the other issue is the academy. If we get them through all these phases, right now there's 7 spots open in the January class is the earliest we can get them in. And that's if we can get them through all their testing
Before
and those
then.
7 spots are still open. So right now it'd be probably the end of November before we could schedule them in a class. And the next class don't start till March. And then we're 18 weeks out from there getting the help, so.
If they're, and you probably don't even know this, I mean, if we're in such demand, even like the state police, how come they don't generate more classes available? I mean,
Well, they're in the same boat we are, nobody to do the job.
nobody to teach them?
Right, correct. Yeah, you have such a shortage of people qualified, and I think Chuck, being on the KLEC board, can attest to this. They're running people through the instructor stuff a lot quicker, and it's a lot easier to do now because they don't have the insurance.
Having a hard time getting instructors.
There's constant
It is.
ads, I see them all the time on the different websites. There's constant ads on the different hiring websites for law enforcement of agencies paying to relocate
Yeah.
officers. You know, they're paying $10,000 to $15,000 relocation fees for these officers to come work for them.
The larger cities.
The larger cities are, and still can't get people.
Advertising billboards. Seattle's got billboards in Indy. Indy's got billboards in Dallas.
Alaska State Police was on the social media today, blasting all over social media.
Yeah, they're the ones that'll pay you to move.
They'll pay you to move. They'll take $10,000, I believe,
I think it is.
if you want to go to Alaska.
You're about to pay me a little more than that.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I have.
Okay,
Thanks,
well,
Brian.
thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. We
Good to
appreciate
see ya.
everything you guys are doing.
Yeah. Moving down to citizens' address. Okay.
Yes.
Head count at the jail,
Yes.
at the detention center. The budget is figured on how many state prisoners?
I don't-
Average,
290.
250, or it was, last time I heard it
290.
was 250, is that right?
290 or 2?
I think it's 290.
Thought it was close to 280, but I mean, we're not off much.
It might-
I was thinking of 285.
Yeah. Well, halfway. Yeah, and that's the dilemma that jailers running into. They're paroling them out, and as quick as he can get them in, they're letting them out. So
It's not a Grant County detention center problem.
It's
statewide.
It's a statewide issue.
The state's just
I know, but our budget is figured on,
Yes.
and we're jumping through hoops with the medical establishment to service that place and all the other stuff we have to do, and we're losing money on it.
Yeah, that's why we're wanting to get this SAP program going as quick as possible.
I just wondered where we've been averaging, I mean, for the year, how many state prisoners have we averaged? I mean, we could figure out how much money we're losing because of that.
And if Mike was here, he could answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this actually is the first meeting he's missed. He had another obligation. I told him to take care of it first, so.
I
But
know
yeah,
he's
he
been
could
very
answer it.
frustrated over it. He even told me it's times that they've had prisoners transferred in, and within 24 hours, they get a notice that they're getting paroled out in 24 hours.
Yeah.
We need to cut it back to a county facility and take the hit. It's possible government, period.
It's,
We're just chasing our tails. That's mine.
Well, and you know, this is me speaking. Mike's new, he's doing a good job, but where I'm headed with this is, we actually haven't had time, just like the SAP program, honestly, we were told we'd probably never get it back. We've got it coming back, so it looks like we're heading the right direction. And like I said, we're less than a year into it and trying to find out what he's able to do, and he's actually impressing me on what he's done at this point. So, and like I say, it's out of his control on some of it, but it is in his control to do what he's doing to get these programs implemented so that we can get this revenue flowing. So, like I say, we're going to have to,
But when you have to count on somebody else for the revenue stream,
yeah. So,
well, you got a place, I think it's in Laurel County, or down London, they're building a new jail, 600-bed facility. And we was at a meeting, these guys were all sitting around bragging, we're building a 600-bed facility, and I said, oh my God, do you have any clue what you're getting into?
millions of sugar plums dancing.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Moneymaker.
we told them what we're seeing, not only in Grant, but northern Kentucky and other counties surrounding us. And these guys, they sat there, and I thought they was going to cry after we got done talking. They said, well, we was promised this. I said, I don't believe that.
it's a
Anytime
struggle.
anybody tells you that a jail's going to make you money, that an ambulance is going to make you money, that a fire department's going to make you money, they go say it's oceanfront property somewhere too.
I would also add that if you, when going back and looking at the old reports that were done by the Department of Justice going back for several years, which I did earlier this year in preparation of their audit, they have always been I guess, adamant about that the jail numbers as far as state prisoners need to be lower. So if you're looking at the Department of Justice, they're actually looking at what the numbers are now and saying that's probably where it should be. Now, I'm not for certain that that's based on a lot of factors that go back for 20 years, but I think one thing I look at is I'm looking at Mike saying what he's done is he's reduced, I don't think he's purposely reduced, but the numbers are reduced. He's able to implement some programs and bring back prisoners that are more, I guess, easier to manage from the standpoint of bringing them back into certain programs, like the SAT program. So rather than just building it for a particular number, bringing in whomever they could offer, because, I mean, to be candid with you, there's jails all over that have problematic prisoners who they would be happy to dump off to another jail. So if we get SAT program members at 60 or 70, that's a whole lot better than the 70 unwanted people around the state that they'll be happy to ship to whatever jail is willing to take them.
That's got major health issues.
Major health
We have
issues.
to provide the medication.
Behavioral issues, psychological issues, all the other stuff.
Extreme risk.
Right.
And once those people come in the SAP program, they stay in it for, I mean, we know we're going to have that prisoner for a number of months
6 months.
till they get through
Yeah,
that
they have
program.
to.
So we know that's a stable, income-producing, if you can want to call it that,
Well, and I think
prisoner.
we mentioned before, David, this SAP program is not just the state, it's the county.
It's the county.
So our county inmates that are going through substance abuse will now get paid from the state to house our own inmates. So,
And that's before they're actually, they can offer that before they're actually given their sentence.
that's correct.
They can,
Yeah.
as an alternative. So once you get them, if they take that, you don't have to wait for it. You can start getting paid for it, immediately.
To me, that's money well spent. We're saving lives there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
These people, hopefully.
Trying to productive people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes.
The rest of it, you gotta look at it, we're losing our patootie on it.
Mhm.
And it's gonna have to be, I mean, you're gonna have to slide money over from the general fund over to the jail fund
One,
to pay for what money we're not getting from the state, because the costs are there. We have those fixed costs.
the, one thing that is leveling out maybe a little bit, I don't see much, but they still not been able to, with the state numbers, with the numbers down, they have not been employing the amount of staff that they had predicted that they could employ.
The state's priorities are, it'd be interesting to talk to somebody there, because they're messed up. They can't even have directors or people to educate the police force. The staff, and you're supposed to have, they've got budget for 1,000 troopers, and they only have
Yeah.
750. I mean, public safety is the number one concern, should be for the government.
A lot of people don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's a huge problem right now is the pay and benefits, but the pay and benefits in private industry and technology. When Chuck and I was on the road for years ago, we had a minimum of 10 troopers in Greene County assigned to Post 6 that worked at Greene County. And we could count on 2 or 3 per shift, 24/7, which was a cost savings for the sheriff's office, it was cost saving for the cities, it was cost saving for everybody, because they took every call they could get. Now they're down to 3 troopers, or 4 troopers, for the entire county, trying to cover 24/7. And what about vacation time and sick time and
Training.
training and,
Can't fix stupid.
no. And public safety is a huge priority in my book.
Well, it used to be a career. It was a career for us, but some it's just a paycheck.
Yeah.
And whoever's paying a nickel more on the hour, that's where you go. So, does anybody else have anything? Jennifer? Yeah. Steve, anything you want to report on?
I'll say a short thing about the bridge on Blanchard. They're supposed to put the guardrail on it Thursday and Friday. They've got the deck door off the old bridge, the side rail. They should be done with that towards the track time. That track will hold you up.
Yeah.
They should be done with that at the end of next week.
Great.
what the state man told me today.
That's
Good.
good to hear.
I hope
Yeah. I know everyone on that road will be glad to hear that.
I see too, according to our claims list, you've been working on Grantland Drive. Is that how close to you are?
It's finished.
Is it finished?
Yes, and
Okay,
if you
so-
take a drive down there, and
I will.
I
That's
forgot
fine.
to bring that up, Grantland Drive was an issue that we were having flooding because of the cul-de-sac.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve went down, and I've met Steve a couple times down and looked at it, and he come up with a solution that actually saved us quite a bit of money of taking out the old curbing instead of milling out the road. The pavement was good, milling it out and then repaving it after they took it down, is they've raised the curbing up, which was busted anyway. So not only did it repair the current curbing, they raised it up, so now the water's directed right into the storm drains.
Good.
So I think that was, what, $4,300?
Yeah.
$4,500?
It would
would've
cost us more to mill.
Well, it would have cost us about $15,000 to mill it and repave it. So, yeah.
More good talent. That's what we need.
So with that being said, our next meeting is November 4th, 2019. It's 6:30 PM.
Yeah, to make note, it is on a Monday
Yes,
because.
it'd be on a Monday. We're canceling the Tuesday, November 5th meeting because Election Day. So our next meeting will be off our normal schedule, be Monday, November 4th, 2019 at 6:30 PM. I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all for coming out.